For more than a decade, this mountain represented everything that goes wrong with ambitious resource projects. A valuable discovery was made, investors arrived, plans were announced, promises were repeated, but the machines never truly started moving. Beneath these hills sits one of the country's most promising gold deposits, a resource containing more than 1 million ounces of gold, a deposit that could potentially generate billions of dollars in economic value. But for years, the biggest challenge was not discovering the gold. The challenge was building everything required to reach it. Now, after years of delays, a $340 million financing package is attempting to change the story. The goal is simple: build the roads, install the power, construct the processing plant, start production, and finally bring Tulu Kapi's gold to the global market. But this is no longer just a mining project. For Ethiopia, Tulu Kapi has become something much bigger, a test of whether natural resources can be transformed into industrial power, a test of whether a country with enormous geological potential can build the infrastructure and institutions needed to unlock it. To understand why Tulu Kapi matters, we first have to understand why it took so long to move forward. The deposit sits within Ethiopia's Greenstone Belt, a geological environment known around the world for significant gold discoveries. The area has attracted attention for decades, but finding gold underground and building a commercial mine are two completely different challenges. A successful mine requires billions of dollars in confidence. It requires reliable electricity, transport networks, skilled workers, political stability, and investors willing to wait years before seeing returns. When London listed KEFI Gold and Copper advance plans for Tulu Kapi, expectations were high. The project had a large resource and a clear development plan. But then came the obstacles. Gold prices changed, financing became more difficult, regulatory challenges slowed progress, and the reality of developing a remote mine became clear. For years, Tulu Kapi existed mainly on paper, in feasibility studies and future projections. Now the project has reached a critical turning point. The question is no longer whether the gold exists, it's whether Ethiopia can build the machine. Tulu Kapi is also arriving at a unique moment in the global economy. Gold has always been valuable, but now it has new strategic importance. Governments and investors increasingly view gold as protection during periods of economic uncertainty. Central banks around the world have increased their gold holdings. For countries like Ethiopia, gold represents more than a commodity. It represents foreign currency, one of the most important resources for a developing economy. It allows countries to pay for imports, invest in infrastructure, support industries, and reduce pressure on national finances. Ethiopia has enormous natural resources: gold, potash, natural gas potential, other minerals. But resources only create national wealth when they are connected to functioning industries. That is why Tulu Kapi matters. The gold beneath the ground is only the beginning. The real challenge is everything built above it. The $340 million investment is not simply buying gold, it is buying the entire system required to reach the gold. A mine is not just a hole in the ground, it is a complex industrial network. Money must be converted into steel. Steel must become infrastructure, and infrastructure must become production. The financing package must support everything from mine development and processing facilities to heavy machinery and supporting infrastructure. But securing money is only the first victory. The real challenge begins when financial commitments meet physical reality. Because mines are built one component at a time, a delayed road can delay equipment. A delayed power connection can delay processing. A delayed machine installation can delay revenue. The clock is now running. Every month matters. Every construction milestone matters. Because the final measure of success will not be the size of the investment announcement. It will be the first gold leaving the processing plant. The first challenge is electricity. Modern mining operations consume enormous amounts of energy. Tulu Kapi requires a reliable power supply capable of running crushers, processing equipment, and the entire mining operation. A dedicated transmission connection linking the site to Ethiopia's electricity network is one of the critical foundations of the project. Because without power, there is no mine, only a deposit. The second challenge is movement. Mining equipment is among the largest industrial machinery in the world. It must be transported, installed, maintained, and supplied continuously. A remote mine without reliable roads becomes isolated from the economy it is supposed to support. And this is where the countdown becomes real. The mine is not only waiting for gold, it is waiting for an entire industrial ecosystem to arrive on time. A gold mine is often imagined as a place where companies simply dig into the earth and extract precious metal. But modern mining is far more complicated. A mine is a complete industrial system. It requires electricity, transport, processing facilities, skilled workers, security, and a supply chain capable of operating in demanding environments. At Tulu Kapi, the goal is not just to remove rock from the ground. The goal is to create an operation capable of processing thousands of tons. The heart of the operation will be the processing plant. This is where the difference between a discovery and a profitable mine is decided. Ore must be crushed, ground, processed, and separated into gold that can enter the global market. Equipment such as crushing circuits and grinding systems represent the project's core. If these systems are delayed, the entire timeline moves backward. But Tulu Kapi is not only a story about machines, it is also a story about people. Large mining projects transform the areas around them. They require land, housing, employment, and cooperation from surrounding communities. That means social agreements are just as important as engineering plans. Without community support, progress can slow or stop. The countdown continues. The project is moving from financial plans into physical construction. Execution matters more than promises. For Ethiopia, the importance of Tulu Kapi extends far beyond one mining operation. The country faces a familiar challenge. Having resources does not automatically create wealth. The difficult part is building industries. Ethiopia has long relied on agriculture, but the government is pushing to increase mining's contribution toward a much larger role over the decade. Tulu Kapi could become an important demonstration project. If it succeeds, it could show investors that large-scale mining works in Ethiopia. Investors look at whether a country can deliver infrastructure, protect contracts, manage complex projects, and create a stable environment. Tulu Kapi also fits into a larger regional transformation. Across the Horn of Africa, countries compete to attract investment and control assets. Ethiopia aims to turn geography and natural wealth into influence. In that strategy, gold is not just a commodity. It is part of a broader effort to build financial independence. But every major resource project carries one unavoidable reality: potential does not guarantee success. Mining history is filled with projects that had valuable deposits and still failed. The first challenge is timing. A mine is a chain of connected systems. If one critical piece arrives late, everything behind it can be delayed. A transmission line, a processing component, a road upgrade, a shipment of equipment. The second challenge is cost. Large industrial projects are vulnerable to inflation, currency pressures, and unexpected expenses. A budget created today may face a very different reality years later. The third challenge is the operating environment. Mining requires stability. It requires skilled workers, reliable logistics, and confidence from international partners. None of these risks mean Tulu Kapi will fail, but they explain why financing a mine is only the beginning. The real achievement is building it. The real gamble is execution. The clock is now running. The target is ambitious. Move from development into production. Create a major gold operation, and begin generating export revenue for Ethiopia. If successful, Tulu Kapi could become a new source of foreign currency. It could create jobs, support local businesses, and attract further investment into the country's mining sector. But the next months will determine whether this becomes a breakthrough or another delayed promise. First Gold, 2027. Tulu Kapi has already survived the phase that destroys many ambitious projects: uncertainty, financial difficulty, and years of waiting. But survival is not the same as success. The mine does not need another announcement. It needs execution. The roads must be completed, the power must arrive, the machines must operate, and the gold must finally leave the mountain. Because the real value of Tulu Kapi is not only measured by what lies beneath the ground, it is measured by what Ethiopia builds above it. First Gold, blueprint or breakthrough. Horn Times.